Welcome back to the Hawkeye Garage. I am Joe. We've got the Roscoe back in the garage. I am going to talk to you about what I feel is the best bang for the buck rear wheel and tire setup to get rid of that pesky Trek rear hub issue that all these older Roscoes come with. Stay tuned. Real quick recap, this is a 2021 Trek Roscoe 7. I have other videos addressing the rear hub issue, so I won't dig into that super deep. And just to let you know, I'm going to nerd out a little bit in this video, and it's going to get a little wordy, but we're going to cover a lot of really good information. And if you are a Trek Roscoe owner, I know I said older Roscoe's, like this is a 21, it's not that old, but the previous models had the same issue. And we are going to dig deep into this and talk to you again, like I said, what I think is the best and easiest wheel upgrade, tire upgrade to get the most out of your Roscoe. Let's take the camera off, point it down here, and get to it. Okay, don't pay attention to the chain. I'm doing something else, fixing, modifying, upgrading something else there. That will be another video. But very quick recap. Had the original hub issue, Trek warranted it, upgraded the entire wheel and hub to it was definitely a better hub. The internals were better, it was solid, it sounded better, but the engagement was still appalling, which leads us to this. To start off, this is a Bontrager, a line 30, comp line 30 wheel, so it is a 30 mil inner width wheel, which leads us to the tire. This is a Maxxis Minion DHR2, 27.5 by 2.6. Turns out I think plus size tires are stupid, and I probably will never go to them again. I don't see a need for it. I'll talk more about that stuff later. This wheel came complete with the hub. This is the Hyperdrive Bontrager hub. Boy, it sounds good. Can you guys hear that on my lapel mic? This wheel and hub comes with 54 points of engagement, a 3-Pawls setup. I will drop part numbers for the wheel, the Pawls, and the springs down below. 54 points of engagement. Order yourself the 3 more springs, the 3 more Pawls, upgrade it to 6 points of engagement, or 6 Pawls, 108 points of engagement. And I tell you what a huge difference engagement-wise. Now, that is not the only awesome thing about this setup. It's lighter, obviously, because it's a 2.6 and a 30 mil instead of a 2.8 and a 40 mil. Again, more on that later. You'll see I'm still running the quick release, but it is not well, it is a quick release. Let me pop this wheel off and I'll show you a little bit more in depth. Wheel off the bike, you'll notice it is a 12 mil through axle. Now, how in the world did I get that 12 mil, 142, mind you, not a 141, 142 12 mil through axle onto this frame that's meant for a 141 9 mil quick release axle with 0 modifications to the frame? Let me tell you how. Here is the frame, the little cutout here for where the outer part of the quick release axle housing would sit up in there. And how wide is that? It's about 10 mil. For all intents and purposes, it is 10 mil wide, both sides, 10 mil. Now, what through axle size was really popular back in the day before 12 mil? 10 mil. Yep, there you go. And yes, the width here is 141 mil width. Like this whole thing is like a big slap in the face to mountain bike consumers from Trek, making stuff their own stupid proprietary sizes that you have to use their own stuff. But then again, they make a crap wheel that they have to warranty out thousands of. And then again, we're the ones that bought it, so whatever. Anyway, what was a super popular axle width that you can still get? 142 mil. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but 1 millimeter difference is not a lot of gap difference. They're pretty much the same, especially when you're talking about aluminum frame and how much this sucker would even flex on its own just riding it. A 142 axle will fit in between here. So what do we do about the 12 mil to 10 mil, 9 mil quick release? How do we solve that issue? I gotta take the axle out of my wheel and I will show you guys. All right, I will admit I am not the first person to put a 142 mil width axle in this frame. You can get like Hope hubs, you can get a 142 hub, and then they make end adapters that you can pop on and use a 9 mil quick release. But, and I hadn't seen anyone do this exact setup until recently. I've seen a few people posting about it. I got this. Let me try and focus this for you guys. This, whoa, that's terrible. This is, I got this off Amazon. This is an aluminum axle adapter. So it goes from a 12 mil to a 10 mil outer with a 9 mil inner for the quick release. So I put the adapter, it's got O-rings, so it's kind of snug. Put that in there. Then basically I have what amounts to, and most through axles are hollow anyway, so don't at me about that. So essentially I am running this wheel on a 10 mil through axle, and it's just the quick release that is cinching it all together, holding it in place. You follow? So that little 10 mil end there slots up into the frame. That's where all of the weight is carried. So, and it goes all the way through. So 10 mil essentially all the way through the hub, holding, you know, to the bike, and just tightening the axle, the quick release axle down is tightening it all together, holding it all together. And it's not really riding on that axle, it's riding on that. And I would tell you what, it completely transformed this bike. It felt, between the crappy cranks that are, yes, they're stronger, they're stiffer, and switching to that hub with the 108 points of engagement, running a 2.6 rear tire. I'm not a fast rider by any means. So when I say like the 2.8 was slow, like for me to say it was slow, it's slow. And especially going to the DHR, way more aggressive tread, even on a skinnier tire. This thing is so much quicker. Like I don't want to say it's fast because I don't ride fast, but it's quicker, it's snappier, it's livelier. It gets from corner to corner, from point A to point B better. And the whole bike has stiffened up. I didn't really understand that until I started doing upgrades like this on a newer bike, since I've been out of it so long. I was like, well, why would you want a stiff bike like that? Sounds terrible. But it just, it rides so much better. You feel connected to it. You feel in control. You feel like you're connected to the ground, like you can follow the terrain. It's not a bad thing at all, believe me. The engagement is so much better on that hub. I can get on the pedals, I can go. It coasts so much better, it's so much smoother. I cannot recommend doing this upgrade enough. A couple quick last things. You are going to have to adjust your rear derailleur. I mean, anytime really you change anything on the back, you really need to adjust the rear derailleur. The wheel, even with a good through axle, it never sits quite 100% the same. I did have to add a tiny, like, I think it's a 1/2 mil spacer. It's a spacer that fits right behind the brake rotor. That spaces, it sets it out. I got it off eBay. It came with bolts. These are titanium bolts that I already had. So it bumped the rotor out towards the frame just a little bit. Now I may have only needed that because while I have been doing all that, I also switched to a 180 mil rear rotor along with the front. Also can't recommend that enough. Love that. And I had to add the post adapter. Now the brake caliper itself is got the holes are milled. They're milled like oval, so you can slide that caliper in and out to adjust it, you know, accordingly before you torque them down. The adapter really only just had round holes. So I think it was probably a combination of the like of the 1 mil. I know I said earlier that 1 mil is not a lot of difference, but when we're talking about brakes and minute adjustments, a 0.5 mil on either side of the axle, I guess, can be. That combined with the adapter, I needed that plate. But like I said, I will link that down below, and it all lines up super awesome now. It runs so good. I don't know about you guys, but I'm terrified of being heavy-handed on my front brakes and going OTB. So having 180s on both, I do tend to favor my rear brake. I know I should probably just make myself a better rider and learn how to use my brakes better. I favor my rear, and having a bigger rotor on the back has made a huge difference. So another mod that I would recommend. All right, I know that was pretty wordy and I was a little all over the place, but I think it's a lot of really good information if you're in the same Roscoe boat as I am. Hopefully that will help you out. Or the description down below, I will have the part numbers for the wheel, the springs, the Pawls. Changing Pawls is super easy. There's videos out there on how to do that. I will also try to link, eBay listings are crazy. Sometimes they're available or not. I will try to link the spacer for that rotor, but they're really common. Bike 6-bolt rotor, spacer, adapter, Amazon, eBay, you can get them anywhere. But again, you may not need that. I didn't know, I had to order that after the fact. So one thing I didn't mention was why I hate plus size tires. And if you don't care about this, skip to the end, to the closing. I think it was something that people tried to make popular because it's definitely not a fat tire. have tried riding in the snow. There's no difference between a regular bike and that. Supposedly it's a bigger, fatter tire, supposed to simulate some suspension, but at least for the size that I am, where I'm at, the type of riding that I do, I have to let some of the air out of it so I can get some traction, have a little spring, but it bounces so bad. So then just putting a little bit more air in it to stiffen it up, I lost all kinds of grip. And maybe that was because I was running a Recon and not something like a DHR, but I can't imagine where I live on relatively flat-ish trails riding a 2.8 DHR when the Recon was already slow. So I don't know. If you care, I've gone to a 2.6 DHF on the front, and I am running it on the 40 mil rim on the front. It gives it a little bit more volume. It really kind of squares it off. And this whole setup, besides the overall geometry of the Roscoe, which is for an aggressive mountain bike, which it's not. It's not an aggressive mountain bike. Right now, setup, I think it's ideal. So we'll just leave it at that. Those are my opinions. This is how it should have been to begin with. And I think Trek kind of agrees with me, considering even though they've gone to a 29 air, they've gone to a 2.6. They've gone more aggressive geometry. They've gone with a longer travel fork. They've gone with better drivetrains. So there's that. Again, comments, questions down below, detailed stuff. If you want to have a conversation, email me, hawkeyeskunkworks@gmail.com. Links and part numbers for the stuff that I'm running, along with some links for the videos on my warranty issue with the last wheels that I had on the back, and some cranks and stuff, the other Roscoe videos I've done too. Also, follow me Instagram, Facebook, links for that. And if you're new to the channel, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, turn those notifications on, and until the next video drops, thank you for watching, take care, goodbye.